Hello LEGO fans and Minecraft fans, Bricks Unbound here, and today we have a LEGO Minecraft set review. It's set number 21128, The Village. This is the large direct-to-consumer set that was released in June of 2016, if you're watching this video later. It was available to VIP starting May 18th of 2016 here in the United States. And it comes with a whopping 1,600 pieces and a retail price that is possibly even more whopping of $200 US. So let's go ahead and take a look here from overview so we get lots of nice sections that I think really depict a village well. You can obviously tell what this is if you've ever played Minecraft. I'm going to go ahead and take the camera off the tripod. We'll do a little bit of a walk around the village here before we open anything up. Alright, so we'll just start over in this corner here. This is so big, of course, that it is taking up my entire table, so sorry, you can kind of see some of my other stuff off to the side. We have this little trading post, which is not something that actually happens in-game, but trading is an essential part of villages and the villagers themselves, so I think it's very important that LEGO included one of these. Then from there we've got the blacksmith, and that does hinge open, which I'll show when I do each building close up here. Beyond that, we have the library back in this corner. Of course, it does have bookshelves. And then we have a watchtower back here. A butcher shop, complete with their little yard out front, or out back. It does come with an iron golem and an Enderman. You'll see these minifigures close up a little bit later. In front of them, we have a farm, which I think is a very nice little build. And then a well on a desert biome. So, you can see we did have several different looking biomes here. This one has a jungle tree, so it's kind of a jungle biome. And here we've got a desert biome. Then just the more basic biomes for the village and the farm. And back here we have a little bit of, looks like some kind of snow biome. It's kind of hard to tell because it just has a few white pieces and then some ice underneath the iron golem there. This set, of course, does come apart into nice little pieces, little modules that can easily be rearranged. They're just attached using pieces just like this, so now we can pull those apart. So I do like that feature. You can rearrange it several ways. The instruction manual does have one way to do it without even taking anything apart. You just kind of hinge open the buildings and rearrange some things. Let's go ahead and move in for some close-ups on these modules. We'll start out here with the butcher shop for our first module. I think from the outside this looks great. You have that nice little fenced-in yard area in the back, a couple of jack-o'-lanterns, which is fine to get some more of those, or pumpkins, depending on what you want to use them for. And nice brick-built doors. You do get two doors with it. I think the roof looks good with all the tiles. So yeah, win on the outside. And it hinges open. You have a nice little pressure plate and fence post table here, which looks fine, some benches around it, and a little butcher's block over here. So plain, but gets the job done. You can tell what it is. So yeah, I'm happy with the butcher's house. Let's go ahead and move on to the next build. And the next building here is the library. Looks very similar to the butcher's house, as you'd expect, because in game they have very similar designs. So nice, again, tiles on the roof. Glad that they did that to make these look a little bit cleaner. Some mushrooms growing over here. The back is plain, but I mean, it's Minecraft, it's all pretty plain. And opening door, good, door looks good. Same build as was used on the butcher's. And the interior of this one's a little bit more interesting. We have some bookshelves up here, of course, and then underneath those some benches, so just like the game there, a little table over here, and a crafting table in the corner. It looks good. And a spider web in the attic. So yeah, I'm also happy with this. I mean, it's got everything you need for a library. Let's go ahead and move on to the blacksmith. Alright, so here's the blacksmith, and I look at this and I say, hey look, it's a blacksmith. It looks pretty much just like it does in the game, which is great for accuracy and then also just playability. People appreciate how closely it resembles. It uses a couple of nice new dark bluish gray tile pieces up here. They're 6x6, first time in that color. And the tiled look, again, gives this building another very clean appearance. Let's go ahead and spin it around so we can see the other sides. Okay, so we got something weird going on here with these Technic pieces. I'll show you how that works here in just a minute. yeah, so from the outside, it looks great to me. Now we can get inside by hinging back this entire piece, so the whole front of the building and the roof hinges back even further than 90 degrees, lets you have nice access in here so you can get hands in here, even big adult hands like what I've got. Fit your little villager in here. Would have been nice to have a blacksmith villager, but that's okay. We got everything you'd expect to have in a blacksmith. A nice little table and chairs over here. A couple furnaces, the lava pit. Yep, so looks like a blacksmith. Good job to the LEGO designers on this for sure. Now let's go ahead and move on to a completely invented piece of the set. And this is a trading post. So they don't really exist in the game, because in the game you can just kind of talk to a villager in order to trade their items with them, but it's nice to actually have a physical representation of it, I think. So it doesn't bother me at all that the designers just kind of made this up. And I think it looks good. I mean, it looks like it could be a little marketplace area. Got a little vendor stall there, and then out front he's got, looks like an Eye of Ender, a cake. A cake, yes, Minecraft cake, we finally got one. A nice printed piece there. Hopefully those will show up in some cheaper sets down the line. An apple, an iron ingot, and then a chest full of the emeralds that you've traded with him. So that's nice. We got a little jungle tree in the back here, which I think looks fine and would fit in well with the jungle treehouse set, so no problems there. And I think it's a nice little design for something that they just made up. It looks like it could actually be a real thing in Minecraft, so good job to the designers there, including this. We just got a couple more pieces to look at. We've got one more building type structure in this set, being the Watchtower, and it's basic, but it looks good. It's nice to have a different design for a building that doesn't look just like the blacks, or the blacksmith, the butcher, or the library. Doesn't look anything like any of those. Nice and unique. So it's a little watchtower. You can fit a minifig up on top, and actually this whole section pops off, so we can stand somebody up here to keep watch over the city or the village, and that looks fine. I got a little bit of snow biome going on here, just some snow that's fallen on top of these bricks, and some ice over here by the little waterfall. A torch clipped on here because this represents a little area you can actually mine and explore. So the easiest way to do that, take this off, you can just set that aside. You can put this anywhere else in the village, so that's nice to have another little modular effect. And then you can take your little pickaxe here and dig away at these emeralds, which then you can take over to that trading post we just looked at and get some cake if you want. And a couple little mushrooms. So this, again, it's Minecraft. It's obviously Minecraft. It looks like Minecraft. It's nice to have a different style of building here. And I think it looks fine. It does the job well. Now we've got just a few more things to look at. Next up will be the farm. The farm has a couple of sections to it. Here we have the crop area and then the area for livestock. And I think they both look good. The crops especially look very accurate to like a small farm in a village, with a single stream of water running through the middle with plants on the side and then built up around it. They also include this little lamppost build that I think looks great. We got some torches hanging out around this. I think it's supposed to represent a block of black wool. I think that's how they build them in the game. Little flower for your iron golem to hand out to villagers if you want. And the fencing over here is just the same as what we've gotten in many sets before, but it still looks fine, looks the part. Got some sugar cane growing over here. And for the crops, we get carrots is what this is. So we got some, it looks probably like fully matured ones, some more freshly planted ones, and potatoes for the first time we've gotten those, as well as some wheat at various stages of maturity. So I would say this, again, great job to the designers capturing an essential part of any village in the game. And next up is our little desert biome and the well. So here's our well. Looks like a well, has a nice covering on the top, as well as a cactus over here. You can easily pop that off and move it around if you want. That cactus build is just like what's been used in other sets before, but it looks the part well. Another lamppost, and then we got these nice little desert shrubs, a new color for this piece, so that's exciting just to get a new colored piece of that. Too bad it's only in the $200 set. We got a little bucket at the well. You can easily just pop the roof off. So it did come apart, but that's fine. You got jumpers under both sides, and inside there we do have a trans blue brick. It's kind of hard to see. And this part of the set actually has one of the things that I think is the reason this is a very useful set to Minecraft builders besides just getting a village, and that's how they built these up. So the designers worked the best they could to use the minimal number of parts. So if you can see around there, we actually have a bunch of empty space in here to save on parts. They didn't have to fill that up, which is great. I mean, probably saved them, I don't know, 6 or 7 parts just out of this area. They did something similar underneath the blacksmith shop as well. And just throughout the set you can tell where they they cut corners, but it's not obvious. But as you're building, you see it, and you're like, oh, that was a good idea. That'd be something I could incorporate into my own builds to save on pieces, because you don't have to make things solid. You can have little holes in them. So I think this is a good learning experience for anyone who's making Minecraft mocks as well for that. And I believe this is the last section of the set we had to look at, besides the minifigures. Here are the protagonists and other neutral characters in this set. So from left to right we have Steve with an iron sword, Alex with a diamond pickaxe, a white-robed villager who is called a librarian, a brown-robed villager who is a farmer, the iron golem, the pig, and a piglet, a baby pig there. So we got Alex and Steve, who are not terribly exciting to get, but I think are necessary for the set, so that's fine. They're exactly the same as we've gotten many times before. The 2 villagers, of course, are brand new and exclusive to the set, with a new torso mold that looks actually kind of similar to the older Lego minifigures, like the first ones they made that didn't have arms either, but they have folded arms in front here. So that looks good, nice and game accurate. It's not like they really wave their hands around in the game anyway. And they use just brown minifigure short legs. Next to them we have the Iron Golem, which is the same as what we got in the Iron Golem set. Exact same build, exact same pieces, same prints. Still looks okay. Looks a little bit strange using the gray in there. I wish those mixel joints could be made in some other colors, but they're not yet, so we'll deal with it. And of course these arms do move up and down fine. He bends at the waist. You can move the legs separately. His feet are on little ratcheted joints, so you can lean him back and forward. And his head can turn side to side. This head mold is the same as the head mold for the villagers, so that's just a new print on it and a new color. It's not a new mold. The pig is the same as what we've gotten in previous sets, using that nice grooved 1x2 piece to give the leg, I broke both his legs off, well, all 4 of his legs off. Give the nice little leg design there. Sorry, Mr. Pig. There we go. And then it's got a piglet, jeez, whose head I ripped off to go along with it. And he uses those same pieces on the side. So nice design there. But there's only 2 exclusive figures out of the protagonists and neutral characters here, being the 2 villagers. Wouldn't mind having some more of those. I'll talk about that a little bit more later in the video. Before that, let's go ahead and move on to the hostile mobs. We get 4 different antagonists in this set. From left to right we have a zombie villager, a creeper, and an enderman. The zombie is exactly the same as what we've seen in previous sets, but it's always good to have more zombies, so you can have a little zombie horde wandering through your Minecraft world. The zombie villager is a new mob for this set, which is super exciting. He uses the same head mold, just as you'd expect, that the villagers have and the Iron Golem has, just with a new print on it. The torso and legs are the same as the zombie beside him, which is fine. I think that they look a little bit different now in some of the newer updates, but who knows when they started designing this set, so he could still be accurate to old ones. And then we have the creeper mob, which we've gotten many times before with that 1-piece body, as well as the head that can fit onto minifigures, as well as the creeper body here. And last up we have an enderman, and we've gotten him many times before. Again, a couple other sets. Has again a very large 1-piece body here with some tiles to make up his arms, and he has a dirt block that he can lift up and down. And that will do it for the minifigures. Now let's go ahead and move on to my final thoughts. Now for my final thoughts on this set. I think LEGO and its designers did an excellent job capturing the look of a village in LEGO form. The buildings themselves look good, pretty game accurate. The only downside to them being that they're a little bit small, but at the high price point this set was already at, adding in more pieces to make them a little bit more realistically proportioned and sized, I think it would have made it way too expensive for anyone to get it at all. And I think the structures that are included were also good, having the butcher, blacksmith, library, those all make sense. They're recognizable buildings within the village. A farm is also, of course, essential, as is the well. The addition of a marketplace, which does not exist in game, I still think it makes sense and is a good way to physically represent trading with villagers, since in the game you just kind of walk up and talk to them. You wouldn't be able to show their wares very well in Lego form if you just had some random villagers. The best thing about that might actually be that cake piece. I'm very glad to have that printed. That said, although I do like the set, I do have a couple of critiques of it. So the first one being the price point at $200 for 1,600 pieces. In this case, I don't think price per piece is a great way to determine the value of this set, since there are quite a few large pieces, like big plates, large tiles, plenty of bricks, which, I mean, those are pretty big pieces as well. The only small pieces really are used in kind of the garden area and to build the torches, so it's not so much a problem with me buying this set. I think $200 is a fine price. The problem with the price, however, is that it's going to drive people away. So while it is fair, I think it's going to stop people from buying it just because they'll see that and freak out. Because I know when I was a kid, my parents, if I would have said, oh, give me this set, it looks really awesome, they'd have been like, that's $200. That would be your entire Christmas and possibly your birthday added in just for one box, right? You only get one present then. So that is unfortunate, because I do think it's a good set, and $200 is a fine price. It's just going to scare people away. They're just going to get scared of that sticker price. My other critique, which I think is a little bit more serious, is the minifigures that are included. So Alex and Steve make perfect sense. That way boys and girls each have a player character they can connect with, so no problems with them. The Iron Golem also makes perfect sense, since you frequently see them in villages. The zombie is fine. I mean, they're a real threat to villagers, and the zombie villager to go along with it also makes sense. And the villagers themselves both look great. The problem is that we only get 2 of them. I would have liked to have seen 4 villagers in this set. Maybe in addition to the brown and white robed ones, get a purple robed one, and then one with like a blacksmith apron on it. In order to do this, I think there are a couple of figures that could have been left out of the set. The creeper would be my first option there. It is kind of the face of Minecraft and is on all the box art for these sets, but we get them in so many sets that most people by this point already have probably 2 or 3 of them, so we didn't really need another one, and it could have been replaced by a villager. The figure that I feel most definitely should not have been included in this set would be the Enderman. If you've been collecting all the other Minecraft sets, you've already got 5 of them. We got 3 with the Ender Dragon and 2 with the End Portal, so this is the 6th one. You really don't need that many Endermen unless you're going to be making a giant End mock. So I think that figure for sure should have been switched out for a villager. Had this set had 4 villagers, I think I would have given it a very high score. As it is, it's still a pretty good set, so I'm going to say if I assigned this set 10 points, or if it had 10 possible points, I would assign it 8 out of 10. The problems being the price point is going to scare people away, and the lack of villagers to populate a village. I hope you have enjoyed this review, and let me know what you thought about this video and think about this set down in the comments. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.